Boom. All right. Hey, how's it going? Sean Nightfire here. I'm going to be building a new panel. As you can see in the background, I got two of these with the panels already on them. Now these are about 3 meters wide, and so each of them can hold 3 of the 400 watt panels. I got 3 of the 350 watt panels on there, but the 1 meter wide panels can go up to about 400 watts or so. So yeah, with 2 of them, you can get 1200 watts, up to 1200 watts, plus another 1200 watts. So 2 of them, like you see there, 2400 watts. Gonna try to make a new panel set where it's gonna be double wide, and it's gonna be able to hold up to they're about 1.2 meter wide panels, and those can go up to about 600 watts. So you could have pretty much one big panel instead of 2 small panels going 2400 watts. You got one big panel going 3000 watts. So and I got some 580 watt panels, so hopefully this works. In the parts list, what we used, it was a eco-worthy kit that I used. As you can see, these are all bought from like Home Depot or Lowe's, and they are about 10 feet long. And for this project, I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 of those on the long ways, and then 1, 2, 3 half ones. So actually another 4. I'm sorry, 2, because you're going to cut them in half on the height. And then I'm going to use the eco-worthy kit. You can find it online. It's the eco-worthy mount kit. I still like to use that kit because I can use a lot of the small legs and stuff like that. It's still a good value. And I'm going to be using, still going to be using their bottom steel, but I'm going to use it as a little bit different than you see here. So, and then to connect the 2 long pieces, I'll show you what I got for that. All right. So yeah, they have connectors that you can connect for them, but I think this is going to work better. I'm going to cut this in half and then try to jam them over it and then bolt it together. And I'll show you that in a minute here. So altogether, price-wise, for the eco-worthy kit, $160, and then like 6 of these bars, close to $200 in hardware. So right around $400, but we'll see how it goes. And okay, so first thing we're gonna have to do is connect 2 of these 12 gauge 10-foot long channels together. So this is at squared 14-inch tubing. I cut this in half, so these are each 18 inches. So this is pretty tough to get in here. 2-pound hammer. What I do is I set it vertically, and you just gotta watch your ears. Gonna have to kind of like stretch it out, and then find like, I don't know, a bolt or a socket or something to kind of temporarily hold it. Do it in a couple spots. Okay, kind of just stretches it out, and then do it on the other one. Just keep on stretching it out. Okay, hopefully that's enough that we can get in there. And I marked it in the center there. It's gonna not be exactly in the middle because you want the holes to line up. It's gonna be a little bit offset, so should have put that a little bit further away. Ah, man. Jeez. Let's just try to put this down in there. All right, here we go. Whew. Whew. Oh. All right. Well, yeah, a little tough, but it'll eventually go. Make sure it's tied up against the other one. And it's a little off center, but we can adjust later. All right, get a little closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, so then we turn over on this back side and see how the holes line up. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I still want to go a little bit this way. I want to be a little bit closer to the center. Okay, there we go. It's perfect right there. If you can see that. So yep, holes are still all the way accessed through. Now, 5/16 inch carriage bolts, 5/16, and then a 3/8 washer on the back side, and then I just start from the outside. Push those in, turn it around, and then a 5/16 washer, and obviously a 5/16 nut. Not quite enough room for, I just put a little bit of blue thread locker on there. And then the right one. Yeah, just drive it home. So I do 6 of them total. Oh, forgot my 3/8 washer again. Five 5/16 washer and thread locker. Nut. All right. Okay, so that's what it looks like completed. 3 on each side. And it feels really durable, actually. But yeah, I made 2 such assemblies like that. So, all right. All right, now that we got our 2 20-foot sections made here and here, we're going to brace them together with our 5-foot sections. These are just 10-foot sections cut in half. Again, 12 gauge channel strut. Okay, so let me show you how, let me zoom in a little bit and I'll show you how those are connected. 2x should do it. Okay. So for this one, since we're going through all this, I'm using 3/8 channel locks for everything. That's what fits the best. But for this one, since this hole's a little bit small on here, you got to drill it out to 3/8. So you only have to drill a little bit. Jesus. Yeah. I know. Okay. These little things, 12 volts are nice, but some things they're just not very good at. So yeah, but the 3/8 bolts had to be a little bit longer. These here are adjustable depending on which way you're coming from. The way they work, you can flip that around. So this should be the right way as such. That way when I screw it and it twists, it locks in there. So I come from behind. I'm using like a smaller washer and a bigger washer for these just to make it extra secure. Coming in from behind. You want to get these pretty tight. You also want to get them pretty square, as square as you can. You'll drive yourself nuts trying to get them perfectly square, but just try to get them. This one, I might have to adjust this one. So that's the center one. And as you can see, I left a hole there. I didn't go all the way to the end. And let me show you over here why I did that. Okay, so this side you don't have to do any drilling. Oh, as you seen here, we go back. So you can't center a 9 and a 9. You're going to end up with 8 holes on one side and 9 holes, or 9 holes on one side and 8 holes on one side. It's going to be offset a little bit. So you're going to have I guess, a short side and a long side. So on the long side, you're going to be, let me zoom out here so you can see a little better, sorry. Again, a kind of a short side, sorry, a long side and a short side, depending on where you offset this with the holes or whatever. On the long side, you're going to find the hole, or you're going to be whatever holes right around 77 inches, and on the short side, 76. So here's this 77-inch side. So again, going over 77 inches. And then you're going to put your other 5-foot piece. All right, zoom in again here. So this one, I don't have to go through all that stuff. I can just go down with it. I didn't need the long bolts. Again, I used 3/8 for this one. Tighten it down real good. After that, when you think you got it really square and tight, you put on this bracket here. Now, the kit comes with these smaller ones. You can use 3/8, buy more 3/8 ones, because you got to buy a bunch anyways. Or you could try to use some of the ones from the kit. I'm going to try to use that. I think it'll be okay since I'm using 2 for this. So yeah, that's why it's important to get it square first before putting this on. And that's why I had it offset 1 dot. So you could put it on there and then just screw those on. Okay, so at the end it will look like, zoom out again here. Sorry, trying to do, it'll look like such, like that. So you're gonna have 6 of those assemblies, or those little brackets there, 1 in each intersection. So 1, 2. Let me zoom out. Oh, wrong way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's going to be another one over there. 5, 6. Okay. All right. Stop it there. All right. So kind of jumped ahead here. There's a lot of trial and error, and I didn't want to record and whatever a bunch of times, so I just went for it. As I can see, this is where I got. Hopefully at this point you have moved it to where you want it in your yard, because the frame itself gets very heavy. The back legs, I used this thicker channel, and it's very heavy, so hopefully you can come up with something better to use on that. I mean, it's strong enough. And then on the back legs, I just used, everywhere I used the 3/8 inch channel nuts, but here I used the 1/2 inch. So I'll just make sure it's strong. And I couldn't get it inside of there, but I think this is a good enough way to do it. But over here, it fit in nicely. So, and then going to the front legs. So yeah, the way it's orientated, you can't orientate it sideways, otherwise it won't rotate correctly. But that's okay, just make sure you get this bolt down tight. And then behind that, I put in these, I don't know, anchors. They sink into the ground about 1 foot. And I did that for all 3 front feet. I probably don't need this front bar here, but it seems like it keeps the spacing correct. What else? Yeah, just make sure you have everything tight before you start putting panels on. Right now, I got it angled at 50 degrees. I should have made the also front legs taller. That way I can because I'm putting big panels on there, I can kind of center it on. It's 5 feet, but I want to make sure there's more off to the front and not a bunch of panel off on the back end side. So I kind of cut the front legs wrong. In cutting the front legs, so some of them are, the front legs are pre-cut, but other places you're gonna have to drill holes. There's 2 holes down here, and then 1 hole here. So you might have to like drill some holes. And same with the back leg. And my camera works terrible right now. You have to drill a sideways hole into that one. So yeah, I'm about to put my first panel on. So right now it's going into fall, but I want to set it up in my kind of winter configuration. That way I make sure I have enough clearance to the panel on the bottom. So latitude for me is 35 degrees. That means my fall and winter angles are going to be 35 degrees. I'm sorry, fall and spring angles are going to be 35 degrees. And then to go for your winter maximum, and you add 23 degrees, and your summer minimum, you're going to subtract 23 degrees. But for me, for winter, I'm going to add 15, which is going to be 50 degrees where I'm at now. And then summer, I'm going to take away 15 from 35, which would be 20 in the summer. So I'd only have to move it 4 times a year. All right, so here is the completed big array. Again, I have 580 watt panels on there times 5, so I should get about 2,900 watts peak. And yeah, it turned out good. My goal here was to keep everything straight and even spacing between them. By doing that, nothing's perfect, so there's a little bit uneven where these stick out, but that's fine. I'm just going to leave them as is. Yeah, happy with the way it turned out. Let me check the back here. A lot of trial and error, but ended up working pretty good. See the back. Oh, sorry, get you all dizzy here. Yeah, I'll just put more those stakes down there. You can look at, I think it's Solar Cannon, give me the idea of those 12-foot screws in there. So I'm going to have 2 arrays for 1 MPPT controller. And I'm going to face them, southwest, south by southeast and southwest by west. So shifted a little bit more south to the west, I guess, just because I have trees to the southeast and I like having more power in the back. But point is, yep, this is a really nice setup. Worked out great. I think it's going to hold up good. I would say the only hard part would be it's going to be heavy, so adjusting it for the 4 seasons is going to be kind of tough. I got a couple ideas about that. I might just tie a rope between the 1st and 2nd and 4th and 5th on the top there, and to my garden tractor, and then I can kind of raise and lower it, or just get a second guy to help me, neighbor or something. All right, so just want to kind of close this out. Total price we spent, equal worthy kit. I got that for $120. It fluctuates up and down. The 7 channel struts that go across, the 2 were $250. 2 leg struts were about $80. Those hardware pieces that connect the long struts, $30, and 3/8 channel struts, about $20. So just over $500 for that array. I think that's pretty good. And like I said, I'm hitting about 2.7 kilowatts now, but that array supports up to 3 kilowatts. I paid $500 for those 5 panels. So what you see is $1,000. So I guess the point of this is compared to like a permanent in-ground, not as durable. I wouldn't recommend it for got a lot of traffic right now. All right. If you're doing an off-grid thing, probably not the best idea. I would just build something durable, something in the ground, cement. That's going to work a lot better for you, a lot more work. This is designed for people that just want to reduce their power bill a little bit, maybe just for emergency use, or like I said, just kind of like a reduce their power bill. Now I've had the smaller ones up for almost a year, and they've worked good for me. I haven't had any major storms, but if you do have a major storm, all you got to do is just drop it flat on the ground, fold it out, and I don't think anything can destroy it other than hail. So anything else? Yeah, I got the price. Yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, hit me up below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.